Hello everyone, I'm Harsh. I have prepared an assignment based on a very popular Python library scikit-learn. So without further ado, let's begin. So this is my assignment. In the first part, what I want to achieve is, suppose we want to play outdoor tennis, but there might be few conditions such as temperature, rain, etc., which could prohibit us from playing. So basically, I want to create a data set based on four different features. I want to generate random values for those four features, uh, like 20 samples. And based on that, I want to train my classifier so that it could determine whether it's suitable weather for us to play tennis or not. So this is my data set, 20 samples across four different features, and based on that I'm determining whether it's suitable whether for tennis or not. So if I go back to Colab, first of all I'm importing a few libraries and I'm trying to store the value of that CSV file in variable data set. And if I print that variable, as you can see, it contains all the values from that CSV file. Now this command, I'm going to store the values of the first four columns that contains the 20 sample data in one variable, and I'm going to store the results in another variable. So the weather is going to contain all the data and playable is going to contain the output. Now I'm trying to import another library here because I want to separate my data into two parts, training and testing. I'm going to use 80% of my data set for training and the other 20% for testing. So this command divides that in two parts. First training, and for testing it's going to use 20%. So if I print the training data, that's going to print 80%, which is 16 columns out of 20. And if I show the testing, that's going to be 20%, that is four rows. Now here I'm importing another library tree, and I'm storing the decision tree classifier into a variable named CLF. Now using that variable, I'm training my classifier based on that training data. After that, I'm making an array of a few unseen samples which are not been tested by the classifier yet, and I'm trying to predict the outcome based on that unseen samples. So this is the outcome, which is pretty accurate. The second part of the assignment is pretty much the same as the first part, but in this part, instead of training my classifier with that 80%, I'm just going to use the testing data, the 30% of data set, and based on that I'm going to calculate the accuracy of my classifier. Going back to Colab, I am making another CSV file with some random data based on four different categories, and this is the output. I'm storing that data in the variable dataset2. As you can see, this is the output of that variable, and as usual I'm storing the data, like the first four columns, in variable symptoms, and I'm storing the last column, the outputs, in variable result. Now I'm separating that data set in two different parts: training data, which is going to contain 70% of the data set, and testing data will contain 30%. This is the output for both of them. Training is going to contain 70%, which is around 21 rows, I guess, and for testing it's going to contain 30%, which is 9 rows. Now based on that, I'm providing the training data to train my classifier. In this command, I am predicting, based on that training, I'm predicting the outcome of the test data. So this is the variable which I'm using to store that outcome, and this is the result. And based on this prediction, I'm calculating the accuracy score, which is 78%, which is quite accurate. So here is, if you can compare, for first I got false, but for the others it's pretty much the same. So that's around 78% accuracy. So that was everything for my assignment. I hope you learned something new. Thank you.